Your name was written on something you never agreed to, by someone who once held your heart. Archangel Michael says, "The truth has been hidden, but not from heaven. And now it must be revealed." There was a time you trusted someone deeply. You may have shared dreams, tears, and even long-term plans. You loved them, or believed they loved you. But now, the angels are pulling back the veil to show you something they never wanted you to see: your name, written on a legal agreement you never signed. This is not symbolic. In the spiritual realm, Archangel Michael shows a vision of a dusty, locked cabinet. Within it lies a sealed court file. Your name appears clearly on the document, but you never touched that pen, never gave that permission. Still, someone else did it for you. They claim to be acting in your best interest, or perhaps, they didn't care about your interest at all. Their motivations were selfish. This wasn't a clerical error. It was intentional. They were in a desperate place, possibly facing legal action, financial ruin, or even criminal exposure. And instead of owning up to their actions, they reached for what was once familiar and sacred: you. Archangel Michael reveals a moment in time, a day when this person sat alone, heart pounding, papers scattered, a pen in hand. They told themselves, "They'll never find out. It's harmless. I have no choice." But heaven watched. And your guardian angel wept. Type Amen 827 to get the divine words. This forged document became a time bomb, hidden in shadows, buried beneath bureaucracy and secrets. And now, that timer is nearing zero. A judge has been notified. A clerk has been assigned. Somewhere in the physical realm, the document is being retrieved, processed, and prepared to be unsealed. It may emerge through a routine audit, a surprise legal notice, or even through someone else entirely, someone with an agenda of their own. But this betrayal is more than just legal. It's spiritual warfare. The one who used your name once stood close to your heart. That's what makes this wound so deep, and why heaven takes it so seriously. Because this was not only a misuse of your trust. It was a misuse of your destiny. And here is the shocking twist Archangel Michael reveals: this document contains a hidden clause, something buried in fine print that could link you to a debt, a crime, or a false legal commitment. If activated, it could affect your freedom, your rights, your reputation, or even your future financial standing. But fear not. Heaven is not just exposing this. It is preparing you. Archangel Michael says, "What was signed in darkness will be shattered by light." But you must be aware. You must be ready. The time for revelation is now. The court of heaven has opened its scrolls. The alarms have been sounded. And what was once sealed, is about to become known. Type Amen 8959 to get the divine words. That strange dream, the unknown voice, the courtroom setting, it was a warning. I come to you with the voice of clarity, cutting through the veil of confusion that has settled over your soul in recent days. What you've been experiencing is not random. The dreams, the sudden jolts of panic, the sense that something is quietly unraveling behind the scenes, these are divine promptings. Yes, that recurring dream where you are in a courtroom, surrounded by whispers and unseen faces, it is more than your mind at play. It is a prophetic glimpse into a spiritual trial that is unfolding as we speak. A case is being summoned in the natural realm, but it originates in the supernatural. And at the center of it all is you. The voice calling your name when no one is around. The feeling that someone is watching you. The repeated appearance of paper, writing, or signatures in your dream world. These are warning signs sent from heaven to prepare you. Someone, once close to your heart, has entered your name into a legal agreement you were never meant to be part of. But before this document touches your physical reality, it has already been activated in the spiritual realm. That's why the weight of anxiety feels unexplainable. Your spirit already knows what your conscious mind is only now beginning to grasp. Type Amen 4909 to get the divine words. There is a spiritual thief, cloaked in human familiarity, who has tried to walk through a door using your name as the key. But they forgot one divine law: heaven sees everything. And now, heaven is intervening. Your spirit has been alerted. That tightness in your chest, that sudden urge to pray without understanding why, that pull to stay home or avoid a certain person. You are being protected. Listen, child of light, what is sealed in darkness must eventually face the light. And the court document, currently hidden, has begun to tremble. It is not just paper. It carries an energetic signature, one that attempts to bind you in the unseen realm. No document, no agreement, no deception forged without your consent shall prosper against you when truth is awakened. You were born with divine authority. And that authority is now being called to the front lines of this battle. Not only must you prepare to defend yourself in the physical realm, you must begin to renounce this agreement spiritually. Your dreams are the courtroom where heaven is trying to get your attention. The unsealing is near. But if you respond now, you can shift the verdict before it's written. Type Amen 594 to get the divine words. An angel has been dispatched to your side, and your prayers are being gathered as evidence. Stay alert. Watch for the next sign, a message, a strange coincidence, or a sudden invitation to sign something. When it appears, pause, and pray. I will be there. Guiding. Guarding. Speaking. The war is not only legal. It is spiritual. And you are not alone in this fight. They were drowning in trouble, and your name became their raft. You have been wondering who would do this. Who would dare to sign your name on something without your consent? Who would risk your freedom, your reputation, and your peace, just to save themselves? I will now lift the veil. The person who misused your name was not a stranger. They were someone you once trusted. Someone who knew just enough about you to be dangerous. Someone who believed they would never be caught, because their face still smiles when they see you, their words still sound familiar, and their heart? Cold with self-interest, hidden behind a mask of charm or regret. Type Amen 495 to get the divine words. They were in trouble, beloved. Trouble that ran deeper than they ever admitted. Debts. Legal threats. Failed ventures. And instead of facing the fire they created, they dragged your name into the blaze, hoping you would never notice the smoke. They thought it was just a signature. Just a paper. Just a lifeline, for them. But what they didn't understand is that in trying to save themselves, they triggered a divine investigation. I reveal to you now. There is a hidden agreement, possibly financial, involving real estate, debt, or a business deal. It is connected to someone from your past, a romantic partner, a friend you lost touch with, or even a family member who once shared everything with you, except their desperation. Type Amen 594 to get the divine words. They forged your name or used your identity without proper permission. They entered your name into an agreement knowing you were unaware. And now, the consequences of that action are rippling toward you like a tidal wave, unless you act swiftly and wisely. This betrayal was not just about paper, it was fueled by jealousy, entitlement, and a hidden belief that you owed them something. They buried the truth hoping time would protect them. They convinced themselves you were too kind, too distant, or too unaware to ever notice. But what they didn't anticipate was divine timing. Heaven does not operate on man's timelines. And now, in this holy moment, the truth is rising like smoke through a locked room. You are sensing it, seeing it, feeling it. Because it is time for exposure. Let me be clear. You are not being accused. You are being alerted. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. What they buried is now being dug up. And what they hoped would stay hidden is now being brought before both man and God. But do not tremble. Do not lash out in fear. You are not walking into chaos, you are walking into revelation and redemption. Type Amen 405 to get the divine words. Soon, you will see their face. Soon, you may hear their voice, trying to justify, minimize, or manipulate. But by then, you will be prepared. You will know the truth. And you will no longer be the one in the dark. I, Michael, will walk with you into the light. I will uncover what was done. And I will help you reclaim what was stolen, your name, your dignity, your destiny. When injustice rises like a tide, I rise like a sword of light. You may be asking yourself, why is this happening now? Why is a long-buried deception coming to the surface? Why are your dreams shifting, your peace disturbed, your soul awakening to something that doesn't yet make full sense? It is because the time of reckoning has come. And when your name is dragged into darkness without your consent, heaven does not remain silent. That is why I, Archangel Michael, have stepped forward. Not just as a guardian, but as a divine advocate assigned to your case. The gavel has not fallen in the physical realm yet, but in the courts of heaven, the case has already been presented. Type Amen 5904 to get the divine words. I have seen the document. I have seen the signature that was never truly yours. I have stood before the throne of the Almighty, holding the truth in one hand and the deception in the other. And I now come to war on your behalf. Make no mistake, this is not merely a legal mishap, it is a spiritual violation. It is the attempt of dark forces to claim something that does not belong to them. Your identity. Your credibility. Your divine inheritance. But child of God, heaven has never lost a battle when truth is on its side. And truth is your shield and sword. They tried to silence your truth, but now your truth will silence their lies. The Holy Council has convened. The scrolls are being opened. And I have already recorded the truth of your soul, the real agreements you made, the real intentions of your heart. No false document will outweigh what is written in heaven's record. I am here to guide you with precision, not panic. With fire, not fear. I will whisper when to move, when to pause, when to speak, and when to let silence do its work. And when the battle reaches its climax, I will be your shield. Type Amen 827 to get the divine words. There is a reckoning coming. The one who used your name without your knowledge is standing at the edge of a divine consequence. They may try to cover it. They may claim innocence. They may even twist the story and act like you misunderstood. But truth cannot be chained. I am not here to comfort deception, I am here to uncover it. You will not face this storm alone. You are being backed by the full force of heaven. You have an advocate greater than any lawyer. You have a sword that cuts through lies and confusion. I am placing a light around your name, a divine fire that no enemy can cross. Your spirit is being fortified. Your path is being made straight. And the confusion is beginning to clear. Can you feel it? This is not the end. This is the beginning of your growth. When injustice tried to bury your name, heaven carved it in light. The seal is about to break. Once it does, you must be ready. The silence is almost over. What was hidden is shifting in the spirit realm. A document, sealed with lies and masked intentions, is about to emerge from the shadows. And when it does, your preparedness will determine the outcome. Type Amen 594 to get the divine words. There is a moment coming, swift and sudden. It will not give you days of notice. It may come through a piece of mail you weren't expecting. A phone call that stops you mid-thought. Or a message from someone you haven't spoken to in a long time, someone oddly urgent to get in touch. Be warned, the timing may feel inconvenient. The energy around it may feel strange. But it will be the sign. The document is being stirred by spiritual winds, and the moment of unveiling is closer than it appears. You are being brought to a crossroads, where what was once invisible becomes legally undeniable. Prepare for questions, beloved. There may be accusations, twisted words meant to confuse you or cast doubt. There may be suggestions that you were involved or gave consent. But remember what I told you, heaven's records are unalterable. And when your spirit stands in truth, even earthly systems must bow. There is a woman, yes, a woman, whose hands have touched this situation. She may be involved in filing the document. She may be tied to the one who betrayed you. Or she may be a messenger heaven will use to bring the paper to light. But make no mistake, she is part of the chain that will pull the hidden truth above ground. Type Amen 495 to get the divine words. And when this moment happens, do not panic. Do not react in fear. Instead, pause, breathe, and remember, I was warned. I was prepared. And heaven is with me. This exposure is not to destroy you. It is to protect you from a greater snare that was forming behind the scenes. There may be talk of authorization, the enemy may claim you knew, or even benefited from the deal. But where is the real proof? Where is your voice, your consent, your hand on the paper? It does not exist. Because the truth has always been this. You were used. But you will not be trapped. Now listen closely. This exposure is not a punishment, it's a divine rescue. It's a window of opportunity to restore your name, reclaim your power, and redirect the outcome before further damage is done. You must prepare now, beloved. Because the moment is coming where you will be asked to stand. Not just in the presence of man, but in the awareness of your own authority. Type Amen 495 to get the divine words. Heaven is not just watching, it is orchestrating the unsealing. And I, Michael, will be your witness. You have sensed something was wrong. You felt it in your body, your emotions, your spirit. The tension. The unease. The strange silence from someone who once knew everything about you. That silence is not empty. It's loaded with secrets. And now, heaven says, it is time for the unmasking. What was done with your name is more than just a simple act of desperation. It was part of a calculated attempt to remove you from something rightfully yours. A blessing. An opportunity. A spiritual inheritance. This person didn't just want to survive. They wanted to succeed in your place. They wanted to reroute something meant for you, to them. And in their pride, they thought no one would ever know. But now, the veil is lifting. A memory that suddenly makes sense. A name that comes up at the right, or wrong, time. A hidden connection between people you didn't know were aligned. Type Amen 949 to get the divine words. And you will begin to see that this betrayal was never random. This was an attempt to hijack your future. They signed your name. But then, they went further. Somewhere along the path, they created documents, agreements, or false claims that could have led to your downfall. Possibly criminal entanglement. Possibly debt in your name. Possibly a legal obligation that would have chained you to something dark. And had heaven not intervened? Had you not begun to awaken spiritually? Had your spirit not cried out in prayer and intuition? You might have walked straight into that trap, thinking it was your fault. But I have made sure the trap will spring on the one who built it. Archangel Michael says. They used your name as a shield while they did their damage. But now the sword of truth is coming down, and what they built in secrecy will be their own undoing. You will see them revealed. Their eyes will shift. Their words will tremble. They will try to redirect blame, or wrap their betrayal in the language of pain. Type Amen 495 to get the divine words. But don't be deceived. They buried this scheme like a landmine. And it could have destroyed your reputation, your finances, your peace. Worse than prison, it was meant to steal your divine identity. Yet what they meant for harm, what they built with lies, what they tried to bury beneath bureaucracy and manipulation, God is flipping into vindication, restoration, and spiritual promotion. Soon, the light will fall on the exact line they forged. On the name they whispered in rooms you were never invited to. On the face of the one who smiled while setting the trap. But it is you, yes, you, who will walk away clean, protected, and vindicated. And they will face what they tried to avoid. You are now entering a critical window. The moment of exposure is drawing near, and preparation is not optional. The enemy has made a move in silence. Now it is your time to move in faith and divine precision. Type Amen 309 to get the divine words. I, Archangel Michael, have not only come to reveal what was hidden. I have come to equip you. Because heaven does not only expose the danger, it arms the righteous to overcome it. There are two realms in which you must prepare. The spiritual and the legal. Your name has been written where it does not belong. But it has also been written in heaven's scroll of destiny, and that version cannot be overwritten. Now, move with wisdom and awareness. Do not brush off your instincts. You are not paranoid, you are prophetically aware. This is not a time to be passive. It is a time to rise, not just in spirit, but in bold action. Do not be afraid. You are not reacting out of fear, you are moving with divine foresight. And when this matter reaches its earthly climax, you will not be caught off guard. What you prepare for now will protect you later. What you declare now will break the chains they tried to bind around your name. I am with you in every step. You are not a target, you are a testimony in progress. I will guard your name with fire. But you must walk boldly into your deliverance. Type Amen 504 to get the divine words. Now that the truth has begun to rise. Now that the shadows are retreating and the document is no longer safe in the darkness. You stand on the edge of a turning point that will alter the course of your life. You've seen the betrayal. You've sensed the deception. You've heard the whispers in your dreams and felt the pressure in your soul. But now, I, Michael, say this. It's time to reclaim your name. Reclaim your freedom. Reclaim the future that was nearly stolen. What happened to you was unjust. It was sneaky, cowardly, spiritually treasonous. But you are not the victim of this story. You are the survivor of it. And even more than that, you are the one heaven chose to rise, rebuild, and rule beyond this moment. There's a spiritual verdict being finalized now. And I am standing at the throne of the Most High with my sword drawn and your name sealed in light. You are not the same as you were before this battle began. You are wiser now. Sharper. Braver. And this fire you've walked through has only refined what God always knew was within you, unshakable resilience. Type Amen 983 to get the divine words. But now, the time for silence is over. Now is the time for boldness. Yes, pray. But also gather every piece of evidence you can, dream notes, emails, records, and insights. Heaven is about to align you with someone who will help you officially shut the door on this, with finality. When this chapter ends, it must never be reopened. This deception didn't just threaten you. It delayed something sacred. A breakthrough. A promotion. A legal win. A spiritual elevation. Even a divine inheritance. The moment this document is overturned, the blessing it tried to stop will be released like a flood. This is not the end. This is the rebirth of your authority. You are covered. You are rising. You are seen. And the same name they tried to bury will now be lifted before kings, prophets, and gates that once stood locked. Type Amen 3090 to get the divine words. Your name shall be cleared. Your destiny shall be restored. And your reward, delivered by divine hands.